And she was like, you're right. So it was just like the Oprah, like I said, the Oprah effect that this is deemed great. And now we all need to accept it as great.
Yes.
And maybe if you work there, then you'll be great and meet Oprah.
So, and here's the other thing about Ron Clark's teachers. I don't remember what I was watching or reading, but they are all in.
Oh, that's what he
like,
said.
they don't have a life. They can't have, like, barely have family time. They're traveling with them. So
I think the time is like 6 to 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. is like their time they need to dedicate to the school.
And that's before extra appearances and different things like that. So I personally wouldn't in real life want to sign up for that.
But a lot of the other charter schools also have those. Like, I know KIPP has a very strict, teacher. You have to be on call between 6 and 9 because you're not at work, but the kids need to be able to reach you. Like, it's a lot of like that rules and structure that are in place, but not for the kids, for the teachers, which I also get. By no means is this slamming any of these programs, because I see that there are results, and I see that there's fun being had. They have a slide, that you can slide to the bottom floor from the second floor in there. And he was excited about that. And that was his dream, to have that. And, in the end, he said, this was my dream and what's yours. So we don't all have to be doing what Ron Clark does to affect our students. And I think that people get it twisted and think you have to do this thing. You have to have this slide. You have to have the stand on the desk.
They want to do it very verbally. I mean, literally. I'm sorry. They want to do it literally.
Right. And his point was more so, if you're in for the kids and you are a runner, don't dull your light because there's other teachers who are saying you're doing too much, or, whatever. If you're great at what you do, be great and share what you're doing as the greatness. And don't allow other teachers in the building or principals or administrators to be like, what are you doing now? What's going on over there? Like, you're doing too much, or you're, so he was giving examples of him throwing up because the kids challenged him to drink all this chocolate milk. Yeah, it was that example. Yeah. And, so it was like, I recognize, that, his vision is in fruition. That's very cool. Something else that kind of did not really sit right with me was he was saying how he is a teacher, he has classes, and that he runs a school and he teaches. And I'm like, I would like to know the details behind that. Also, the school stops and everyone comes in to visit them on Fridays, every Friday. So is there this routine, like, now let's dance for the teachers? And then to me, that turns into dog and pony Sambo situation. And I don't like it. I don't like, here are my little monkeys and they're going to dance for you. Like, I don't like it. Something about it makes me feel like,
I know what you're saying.
Like, those kids are there to learn. Those kids are not there to show off. Those kids are not there to help teachers be better. You know what I mean? Like, are they getting paid for that, or what is it? And he's like, oh, we travel all around the world. The kids are going to South Africa and they're going to show, this, and they're going to show that. And I'm just kind of like, okay. And I don't even know if, and this is just me being real, there's a such thing as a white savior syndrome.
I knew this was coming. And this is just me. And I told you,
I've been battling with my whole feeling behind it. And would I feel the same if it was owned by a black man or a black woman? I don't know. Or would I feel the same if it was, Ron Clark, who he is, serving an underserved white community? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know. But I think the history of this country has developed this whole white savior. I am going to be pulling these, kids in need out of the ghetto and they will be great because of me, that sort of thing. And so I'm not saying that's what this is. I think that's what I'm struggling with. Like, is this one of those Miss Daisy situations, or is it? But I do love, like I said, I really enjoyed seeing the Wakanda because you saw the teachers. And
yeah, you actually could see the teachers.
He wasn't in any video. Yeah. You know, the teachers that organized it were in there. The kids were there. And it was not centered around this one person who is saving the whole community. And that's not even the community. Like, it just seems like it's a bunch of visuals and not a lot of meat to it.
Yeah, it's very rare that you see a Ron Clark video of teachers just doing down home teaching. Mm-hmm. Or like where you see the kids do it. Now I've never visited Ron Clark Academy, but I've heard that they do all this great technology integration and the kids actually lead some of the seminars for teachers. And
oh, cool.
And I don't think it's a jealous thing. I think being in a jealousy thing, I think being in public education, it is quite frustrating when people overlook all of these things that we're doing when it's being done in places, but we're just not publicizing that. And then...
Well, and also, when you have a charter school, you create whatever you create. So we're doing it within the constraints of what's been created before we got there.
Yeah.
So that might be a little bit harder to execute.
It's not a might. It is harder.
Yeah. Like, you are trying to do all this in spite of people standing on your neck about these standardized tests.
Yeah.
And, you know, your administrator checking for data with the county when you just was trying to sing a song with your kids and you didn't have time to put that in. Like, it's just a lot of that when I don't know if that goes on I don't think you can compare a public school to a charter school because of the way it's even set up. So, and I don't even know if comparison is happening at this point. I think comparison is happening from the community. I don't know if the Department of are they even tracking it? Is it too new for them to say these schools are producing the best scores and these are not? Like, I would have to do a little more research.
I have not seen or heard any, and you will probably know before I would know. But you know, I'm not a big news watcher. But I haven't heard any real statistics about how they're so much more effective. I think that there has been this image that has been created to make parents feel as though they are receiving something special when they go to a charter school.
Right. And also, you know, you talked about visiting. So when I left the talk, and I felt like he did give some light on, he said, we have discipline problems in our school too. I know y'all are thinking it's a perfect situation. He's like, no, there's a little boy over here that's always cussing, or, you know, he said that he mentioned that it wasn't the perfect.
Yeah, I want to know some real examples. Like, that's it?
Cussing? Right. And detentions. And so I know a coworker of mine whose daughter swims with someone who goes there, and she said that people are always getting detentions, not written up or anything like that, but detentions, all detentions. And I don't know what that's all about. So I would love to see what would get you a detention or whatever.
And what happens in detention.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm looking for. Give me some...
Sing on the desk in detention, girl. What is it?
Give me some alternative solutions to consequences and discipline.
Yeah.
That's what I want someone to teach me.
Right. So I left... I walked right out of the exhibit hall, into the exhibit hall, and ran into another teacher science teacher from Cobb County. And she was like, oh my gosh, our school's going. Another high school are going to Ron Clark. She said, like, in the next couple of weeks. And I was like, oh girl, I'm gonna hop on your bus. And she was like, if you have $499. And I was like, hold up. So per teacher to go and visit and learn these strategies. It's going to be...
So $500.
Yeah, about $500 for you to go in there and slide down the slide and see what else is going on. So I'm interested to see, and I told her I would contact her after they came back to see exactly, how was it?
They come back geeked up. The school that I'm at actually went a couple of years ago. The whole school.
Wow.
Went, and
tax dollars spent well.
I missed that. I missed that trip. And
so how many teachers are in there?
We have about 30 teachers.
It's Title I.
Yep.
So they use the funds.
I don't know if they use Title I funds, but
who paid for it? The teachers individually?
I wasn't there. No, the school sent them, so they got to go for free.
I guess that's like a conference.
Yeah.
How much you would pay for a conference?
And one of the older teachers said that she told them that she didn't want to go, but they insisted that she went because she said, I'm retiring in a year or two. There's no point. Use this on some young folks.
Aww.
But she said she's so glad she went. It was God's perfect timing because it really did rejuvenate her.
Yeah.
And made her mindset shift a little bit about how she was doing things in class. But
I think that's great. I think that would be, if not anything else, teachers do need that. And all of them, when I left, they were like, he was great. And I felt, yes, he was great. He was great. But, science teachers do math. And he said that he has over 30 kids in each class. And so we were like, that's not true. You can't. So just that point. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. We were all nudging each other. Like, that doesn't add up. That doesn't make sense. But, I get it. You want to identify with your audience, and probably all of us could identify with about 30 kids in the class, but 14 we probably wouldn't be able to identify with that situation. So I don't know. I wonder if anyone who is a teacher would be interested in going or has gone to visit.
I think everybody, not say everybody, but I think there are so many people curious. So I think we're going to have people who are interested.
Yeah.
Now, whether they're willing
to
pay
for free.
$500.
I would absolutely go for free just to see what's going on. But I also feel like he did a really good job at selling his school as a model for teachers to come and see what's going on. And for teachers who might want to work there. I think that he did a great job with that. And I think that he opened the conference, so it wasn't like it was a motivational thing. It wasn't a professional development sort of talk. He is very animated, in which I sent you a text in the middle to find out if you thought he was gay, which neither here nor there for me, but he seemed very, very, very animated with his hands. So that was distracting.
The last time I listened to him, I also felt a little distracted by that. Again, I'm like you. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, but I can't help but be curious. Especially with all that.
And it was a lot of neck rolling and side looking. And I don't know, Southern people, but men who are from the South and they're imitating their grandma or their mom or a woman, I guess they do that. Here you go.
I always try to speak on the Southern. You always want to do this fusion, don't you?
I guess that's a Southern
I don't
thing,
know. No, it's not. My husband doesn't do it. I never saw my dad do it.
My husband doesn't do that either.
So it's not. That's not the case, boo.
But the ones I see are not black, though.
Madea?
Oh, yeah. But I'm talking about in person. Like, I've seen, people that I thought may have been straight white men, and they're imitating their mom.
I'm not familiar with that.
Or on videos. Remember we went to that conference and there was that guy on the stage who does the videos?
Yes.
And it was like, I'm getting a little bit of something here.
Well, that's not a Southern thing.
Okay.
Perhaps it's a West Coast thing.
No.
Since you're so familiar.
I am familiar with very much gay stuff. Okay, so that was the recap on, Ron Clark Academy.
I really want to go into this elephant and sum it all and wrap it on up.
Yeah. Okay, so This was a while ago.